lifestyle choices have so many implications on our well-being, whether like even if it's affect the mental well-being, our physical health, and there's so many factors to it. I often talk about the people we have in our life, and I think it's really important that we are discerning about that because people can literally weigh us down, bring us down. But in reality is we can bring ourselves down. Um, at the time of speaking now, I am absolutely exhausted. I am my worst enemy. If being totally frank, I feel like I'm like close to death. I feel like I'm killing myself. And that I know it can seem like an exaggeration, but it's not. My breathing can be a bit of a problem, especially at night. I am absolutely exhausted, and that's where the problem's coming from. I push myself too hard all the time. I try to extend the day as long as I can, so I don't get anywhere near enough sleep. I have trouble sleeping. Um, so I live alone, so I feel like as part of it is hypervigilance. You have to, you haven't got that security of having people around you, so you always feel like you're on the defensive. Um, often it's unnecessary, but at the same time, it's sort of necessary, isn't it? If you're alone, so you always feel like you're always on the defensive. So like recording this video, I was tempted to record it later when feel healthier, but I felt, as everything I am always authentic. And I thought, you know what? No, you're thinking about it now. Let's do it now. And I think it's best to do it now while, literally I've had like maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep. So I thought it's best to just show it. Now, I don't have any filters. If I look good, then I look good. If I don't look good, then I don't look good. This is literally all we have is a ring light in front of me just to light it up. Um, yeah, I feel quite I feel a bit all over the place in all honesty because I just feel like for some reason I feel like I need to eat. For some reason I feel like I need to eat, and I don't know why that is. I feel almost like a little bit shaky almost. Be a dietary problem. Look, that's what I'm trying to say. Like there's so many variables. I'm not someone that's intentionally abused myself in any way. I've never taken drugs, never dabbled with it at all. I've never had cigarettes, never vaped. I'm not interested in anything that I know intentionally harms us. I do like my sodas though, and it's something that I'm trying to cut out. Sometimes I have good moments where I can, other times when I can't. I have like a long time ago, I just switched to cans because I just recognize if you have bottles, you can that can get out of hand. You've got a bottle in the fridge, you can just go for a bottle of soda like crazy. So I do consume it like manageable, and that's why I get the cans on purpose, even if it costs a lot more overall. It's like for me, it's better. Like you see, I'm really struggling at the moment. I've had like 3 hours rest because I stayed up till 4. It's my own fault. Often I do. I sit there and watch YouTube and all sorts of shit. Um, you do so much during the day, and then it's like now I get to relax, and I force myself to relax, but it's at the detriment of my health, my rest. So I had a delivery this morning, and it was like, oh, I missed it yesterday, and I was like, I'm really annoyed. I missed it by like 30 minutes, and it was like earlier than I expected. So I sort of had that understanding, set an alarm. All of a sudden, it says the delivery's coming in the morning again. And I was like, oh, crap. I just want to sleep, man. So it's midday now, and I'm just going to have to go to bed. Literally, after I do this recording, rest, then a bath, then to get myself sorted and come up with a schedule that's going to work for me. I'm not going to write it down, but instinctively know. I know what works for me, but I have things I like to do, and it consumes my days. And it's just I've got to just find a way to manage it. And this is why I'm talking about it, like publicly, really. Maybe raise an awareness to other people. People have other interests and have other lifestyle habits that they differentiate. But it's finding the things that work for us. One thing I noticed is reading. I go through periods where like, I'm an author. I write books, but I don't just read all the time. I got other vices I like to do. I love gaming. I like watching sport. I enjoy movies in it on occasion. There'll be periods of the year where I go heavy in movies and I enjoy it, and there's other times when I don't. There's times when I consume a lot of TV shows, so I binge the shows I like, and then there's times when I don't. But I'd say more manageable. More times I'll enjoy gaming, and I'll enjoy watching some YouTube videos or things that interest me. So maybe it's something I'm dabbling in with technology and all sorts of things. But I do like my sport. So I like to mix up the gaming and the sport, really, but they're really, really time consuming. For instance, I watch the F1. I'm having to force myself to like because it's around the world. So sometimes we get like recently, I think it's the Japan one. It was like 6 a.m. and I'm going to bed like crazy time because of the gaming and shit. And then I'm like, oh, I got to get up for 6, set alarm. So you're not resting, you know. My diet is not good enough. That's something else I do want to start hammering down on myself. But I live alone. I'd love to have a companion and someone like work together and we come up with like meal plans. Oh man, I just can't be asked. So I'm having takeaways when I shouldn't have takeaways. If I'm not having takeaways, I'm probably just chucking a pizza in the oven. You know, I've got to start looking after myself better in terms of my food, so nutrition. Definitely need to be exercising more. I go through different periods of the year where I really do enjoy exercise, and other times when I just won't, and I just hibernate like a bear. And then, like I said, I'm not eating well, so not eating well, not resting well. So although I'm not trying to abuse myself, it is abusing myself, isn't it? So like my breathing's becoming a bit of an issue at times. I notice it more at night. So I've got to have like, I think I'm just gonna have to have a health checkup. But again, it's self-inflicted lifestyle habits and things. But yeah, I think sometimes sort of the life that's it's forced upon us to a degree. I don't like being self-defeating like that, or trying to look for an easy way out. But sometimes like life does bring us down. Like I always like in my mind, it's like this recognition that what's your happy place, and you can't force it. We can distract ourselves, and that's what I recognize in my life at the moment. I'm distracting myself. Am I truly happy? I keep saying that I'm not truly happy, and it's something I can't force. I just can't make myself happy. I can't. My happiness was when I have my daughter home. Fortunately, she's going to be home in a few like at the end of the week. We get like 5-6 days together for the holidays. Unfortunately, it's not as long as we'd normally have in the holidays. I don't know why, but that's what I've been given. And that's when I'm like truly happy. Like it's like, oh, this is it. This is what I want. I just like to be. I like to have a family. I like to be home, and home feels like home. And it's not something you can't make. You can't artificially replace that. You can't. You can manage it in spades, and we can sort of distract ourselves with things. I give myself projects. I throw myself into things that distract my mind. So gaming's great for that, but gaming can be really long because there's multiple games and they go on forever. And it's not like I'm miserable when I'm doing it. It's like I'm just existing. Though. It's like a different elevation of happiness, when you're really happy. So it's almost like other things become interesting that weren't interesting before. I don't. It's hard to explain it really, but it's like that's my barometer of happiness. So when it fades and goes, I know I'm not happy. I don't know. I just fulfill myself in other ways, and I make myself proud at times when I look back at some of the videos I do. I think, oh, that was deep. That was good. Well done, me. The books and things like that. And I do accomplish things, but what people might not realize away from that is I'm just existing to a degree. I'm just trying to get by. So I have wisdom in me, but it's doesn't. You still can't fast forward time. You can't make things happen. You can't force a family situation. You can't force love. Um, so I still have to manage just like everybody else, and I push myself so hard all the time. Not necessarily working hard all the time. I think that's maybe a misconception. The things I do a lot of the time come easy to me. The books, yeah, they're heavy, but it's like for a period of 3 months, really, when I decide to implement it. But it's like if I take time out to do my videos or anything else I do, it still has that time has to be replaced. It's like I don't just like take that time out and then it's like, oh, just lost an half an hour. So you've got this amount of hours. It's like, no, I'm gonna have the full quota for my day. And that's what I'm like. So I'm stupidly ridiculous with rest. I don't give myself anywhere near enough. So like I say, I don't know how it's coming across on camera here, but if I look in the mirror, I look really dark and I look it's something I've got to look after, man. So I just know that, like, for instance, this is what I'm going to talk about, like, how I'm going to do it. And it's not like I'm forcing it. It's just going to be natural now. If I'm sitting at my desk at my computer, there'll be times when I'm doing my videos. There'll also be times when I'm doing a bit of research or something. I'm just looking something up. Maybe it's all usually gaming related or sport or something. It's just stupid or something I'm looking at shopping. Um, but then there'll be games I like on my PC that, like, for instance, I can't play in the living room on the consoles and things like that. And I do prefer PC gaming in general anyway. But I've got to find a balance with it. It's all right for a few hours, but let's start instead of like bouncing between that and social media, because social media drains the life out of you. You don't realize how many hours you lose to that. I still enjoy it. Did a video yesterday where I cancelled it all, but I did miss some of the content creation on TikTok, and I also I missed the live news, the way we just get information immediately. I miss having that feed, so I did reinstate it, but I won't be posting content anymore there, at least for the foreseeable future. Again, it's about regaining our time, improving our lifestyles. So I'll still game because I enjoy gaming. I've still got my gaming channel. There's some videos I'm going to create on there as well. But I do want to get back to reading. I like to find a different seat on the sofa. Just for instance, it mixes up the lighting, the natural light in the room, and it's just different. So I'll sit there, chill out, hopefully re-inspire myself to get these next books done so I can work on projects. But again, I've got to stop pushing myself so hard. I've got to find a balance here. I have got colouring, weirdly. I've got these like pens, colouring pens. I've had them for a while. I've got these different books. And I go through phases, but I think I need to just start implementing things like that because it just relaxes the mind, you know? Just got to find a way to be zen. I think that's what it comes down to, isn't it? And find a way and find like a meal plan that works. So you can remove or literally or minimize the takeaways and the unhealthy habits. Exercise more for sure. Got to find a routine that works for me in that regard. Because again, I've had it before. I've gone to the gym before, and I don't do weights and shit. I'm not into all that crap. But the other things, and I always felt like healthier for it. You felt like I had more energy, and you just felt better in yourself. I think just when we let ourselves go, we don't feel too great. Our body just tells us this isn't. We're not happy. So I think that's the one thing we've always got to do. We've got any part of our lifestyle is we've got to listen to our body. What is it telling us? You know, if it's yearning for sustenance, we've got to give it sustenance. If it's maybe your mind feels a bit foggy, it feels a bit blurry, then you've got to give yourself a chance to clear it. And maybe your environment isn't helping, so get yourself out for a bit. And sometimes that just going outdoors for a little bit just helps reinvigorate our mind, gives it some breathing room. And you don't feel so stressed. I think there's all little things we can do, but it's finding a way to make it manageable and I think sustainable. That's the one thing. So, like for instance, I say I distract myself a lot, and I put a lot of pressure on myself in various areas of my life. But I just can't, I always look back now and remember like last year when I was just reading a little bit more. I just sat in bed, for instance, when it's bedtime. I was like coming up like at 9 o'clock, go and sit in bed, got the lamp on, got a book because I've got my e-reader, my Kindle, and I've also got the paperbacks and things. And I was just truly enjoying reading books. Like genuine, I'm not doing this to plug my books. If people are interested in reading, read what you want. But that was really good for me. I was really it's helping me unwind before I go to sleep, rather than screens everywhere. Um, yeah. So it's like, why would I stop doing that just because other things are more exciting? I guess because gaming can be, and there's so many bloody games. Um, yeah, I really just wanted to talk about it really. Only briefly. I didn't want it to be like a really long, deep video. I think it's for people to look in their own lives at the things that are maybe causing them stress, maybe their body's distressed. They like realign themselves. And I think sometimes it's easier when you've got a bit of support around you, so if you're together, but then at the same time, it can also be a crux because if you're in a relationship or dynamic where you're just completely opposites, it doesn't really work, does it? Because this person's not going to support you. They could potentially be a negative influence and just diminish any sort of gains you gain. So yeah, I think on the one hand, if you're with a supportive partner, I think it can really help you. You can really improve your life. But I think if you're with someone that weighs you down, it's an anchor, isn't it? So that's not good either. But effectively, we are responsible for ourselves. It's not someone's responsible to come and save our day. It's for us to recognize what we need and I think just strive towards achieving it. And it doesn't always have to be something remarkable like career goals and relationships. It literally can just be looking after our health, give ourselves a chance to actually live a fulfilling life, not end life early. Um, and I think feel healthier while we live it. That's an important part, isn't it? Because even if we can manage to survive for a few extra years, it's like you want to make sure you feel good doing so. You don't want to like I say, struggle breathing. You want to have struggle walking. You don't want to have issues that could be mitigated by just literally changing your lifestyle and habits. So yeah, I mean, look, I feel clearer while I talk, but I kid you not. As soon as this computer goes off, I turn that off. I'm gonna feel freaking the weight of everything on my body. My chest's gonna hurt. I'm gonna feel tired. I'm gonna feel achy. I feel hungry now, and I don't know why. Maybe it's 'cause it's nearly lunchtime. Um, but yeah, it's just I think things just compound, and I think habits can get addictive, even if you don't consider it addictive. But an addiction really is something that repeats a lot, isn't it? And it's something that maybe we're not handling or controlling because you might not notice it, because we can all convince ourselves it's not an addiction. Well, if it's something you've got a habit habitually return to, I think, and it's part of your day and it consumes a lot of your day, whether we recognize it's an addiction or not, because that it's becoming something of. Um, and yeah, so if we can manage it, then it's no longer like addiction. It has the potential to be addictive, but if we stop the addiction, then we're no longer addicted, are we? Um, So yeah, I just want to do a little bit more to my days. Really, I think freshen it up a little bit. Watch a little bit of telly, a little bit more than I usually do. I think normal terrestrial telly is good. I think people keep talking in the UK because we've got TV license. Um, don't watch, just go with the streaming platforms. But I find they're quite intense a lot of the time, and it's really hard to find something on the fly without committing to something like really heavy. And I just think normal telly, for instance, satellite, cable, whatever you want to call it, it's just manageable. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just mix it all up a little bit more, so it's not just one thing. And hopefully, I'll start feeling lighter and healthier. So yeah, if the videos slow down in any way, it's really just me balancing life, finding an equilibrium, really, of something that's sustainable, and like aligning myself with some sort of happiness. But hopefully my health improves. Hopefully things. I don't think it's like on a terrible decline. I think it's just warning signs really, and I think you got to take care of yourself when there's a warning sign. Um, like personally, I just think it comes down to exercise. For me personally, it's just going to come down to lifestyle changes, just to give yourself your body that time to relax. It's not always hyper vigilant. It's not always having to be alert. Not always having to work so hard. Um, so you give it a chance to rest when it needs to rest. So you can even mind as well. Um, and of course, work on I think our diet. I'm not someone that feels you have to remove everything entirely. I think sometimes people go extreme, and then the problem is you binge. It's just removing it a little bit. For instance, I don't have as many sodas as I used to have because I'm aware of the ramifications. I've got bottles of water in the fridge as well, so sometimes I'll mix it up. Um, but yeah, some things are a little harder to manage, but I do take accountability of that. So I try to reduce as much as I can in periods. Um, But yeah, I think when our body's telling us something, it's changed something, isn't it? And like I say, if you surround yourself, one of the big things though, of course, is it's different for me because I've literally set boundaries with pretty much everyone in my life. Like only remarkable people remain, few and far between. So it's a bit hard for me to talk upon that because I've recognise other people. They've probably got some lifestyle changes to make on top of having people maybe that mistreat them, abuse them, take them for granted. Literally, not really your tribe, but something you're stuck with for the foreseeable future. So that's even harder, isn't it? Because you're trying to manage and trying to improve your life, and you sort of weighed down by those that associate. So yeah, but yeah, maybe that's another layer to work through and get through. But yeah, I just thought it'd be better, really, like I said, to do the video why I am not in the best state of mind, the best condition, um, just so people can see what I'm actually talking about. Because I figured if I had me rest and I got some food in me and I was doing some things that just bring me a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, and then I did the video, it might look like, what's he talking about? I might even come across that now. I don't know how I come across the people. Do you know what I mean? I can only be me. So when I look, I only see me. I mean, I know my intention behind things. So if people want to look at it and see something else, it's up to them. I always know why I do things. It's just really, it's always ever been a case of self reflection. I recognize people just don't have role models in their life. Like I just said, you might be in a situation where people don't understand you, people mistreat you, people abuse you, they take you for granted. That's what I recognize in people, that people find themselves in situations where maybe they don't feel strong enough to change. and they haven't got anyone to say, you don't have to put up with this. That's where everything I come from comes from, because I recognize that, you know what, I can speak upon what I've experienced. And that's where all my content derives from. It literally is me just saying, this is what I'm going through, or this is what I've experienced, this is what I perceive in life. And it's like, you can take of it what you will, you don't have to agree with everything I say. It's literally just me portraying it on the outside externally. So hopefully it gives people a chance to just think a little bit more, Just that's all it comes down to. That's only ever my intention. There's nothing nefarious in what I do. I don't sit here trying to give myself a pat on the back, letting my ego run rampant and go, God damn, I'm cool, or damn, I'm smart. It's none of that at all. Sometimes I watch the videos back and go, God damn, that was good. I don't know it's good when I'm doing it. I'm just talking, I'm just speaking upon circumstance. Um, like I said, if people take anything I'd say or the way I behave or what I do and you see a different angle on it, it's up to them. I'm not here to convince people. Uh, but like I say, I don't carry the weight of people on my shoulders because I'm too busy trying to align myself with my happiness. So, I help people where I can, but I will prioritize my own well being in the process too. So when I have to take a step back, I'll step back, because what else can you do? You can't just burn yourself out. We'll end up killing ourselves. That wouldn't be much help for anyone. So yeah, I'm in a position of transition right now. Um, and for me, I'm not looking to do anything crazy. I'm not someone like that. I don't see the point. I'm not going to just stop having takeaways. If I fancy having something to eat, and I don't fancy cooking for myself, then I'll order something. But I don't do it as often. I really am controlled like that. I'll literally, because for me, I don't have the finances to be able to do it regularly anyway. So sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not worth it. What's the point? And I'll get in it, and sometimes it gets so late that I'll just go, I can't be asked now. But usually it's me just managing it. I force it to be late so I can't have it. It's little mind tricks. Um, so yeah, I'm not looking to just negate everything. I like my sodas. I've gone up. I think it was a week where they ran out, and I was like, But I knew it was a good. Let's see how long. Like, let it have a period here. Well, that's not a huge period, but surely any period of rest or a deviation from is going to help our body sort of recover to a degree. But I still, if I don't do that, I'm drinking loads of tea, for instance, and I'm just constantly boiling the kettle, and it's like, or coffee, and it's like, God damn it, I need something. So, I didn't realize Amazon do that, but I ordered some, like, I get Coke Zero, and then I got vanilla Coke, and I like vanilla Coke. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I just got 2 crates of that. But I'm not drinking like a crazy person. Only have a can a day, 2 at the most, but usually I just be limited to 1. Sometimes I try not to have any. Um, that's literally the limit. So if I say I'm drinking, I like soda, I'm not like sitting there going like a mental person, like a freaking Homer Simpson, going mad with soda. It's literally um, because it's just literally one a day or 2 a day, and limit to that. But I do like my cookies, my biscuits. I used to love chocolate. I do love chocolate, but I recognise it's expensive and you don't get much. So one of my cruxes is I do like having a hot beverage, whether it's coffee or tea. I think Americans don't quite understand tea really, but it's like you literally got I think their impression of it's wrong. It's like a coffee really, because you've got the tea bag, then you put sugar in it. Same way I'd put coffee. I can't have coffee with no sugars. Um, so I have to have 2 sugars with my. I can have 1 sugar with coffee, and I have to have 2 with tea. It has to be a bit sweet, and that's the thing. If you don't do things the right way, it tastes weird. And then you got put milk in it, and then it's beautiful. And then I like to have my cookies. So I've got like these ones, my custard cream. Problem is, if we look at the nutrition value, I could sit there and eat a few there. I dip them. Some people say don't dip in your tea because they don't like it because it goes soggy. But I think it makes them nice. But you've got to be careful because it can fall in. I know we're going off track here. I'm not like a crazy person with food. It's just I do like to store biscuits, like cook. I don't know what Americans call them. You're not cookies because cookie is chocolate chip cookie thing. Um, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, if you look, they're quite high. One biscuit. So like I could eat maybe 10 of these, easy, easy, and then even have some more later. This is the trouble with these. I think they're really sugary. So this one says 4% sugar for one biscuit. You don't just eat one biscuit. Who eats one biscuit? I don't know if I can show it. What a biscuit? A biscuit is a cookie, but for the UK people, well, a cookie is a cookie. You know what I mean, like a proper cookie. So it's not that big. It's just wow. I like them. Yeah, that's nice. But it's 4% fat, 8% saturates or sugar. So I think if anything kills me, it's biscuits. Because that's quite mad. 8% saturates in one cookie. I kid you not, I could eat 10 of them with my tea. I have my tea, watch my YouTube, dip, 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 eat, eat, eat. And then I'll do it again later. And it ain't always these, 'cause I like my chocolate ones on chocolate as well. But yeah, that's my crux, my cookie, my biscuits. I can't stop. I can't not have them. You know, if I could have not a lot in my house, like for instance, I could run out of food and I'll be like, you get miserable because you ain't got food. That's a horrible place. But with me, there must be bread because I can do toast. You know, this is my bare minimum. If I'm really struggling money wise, but if I lose these, I'll lose my shit. I'll get really agitated fast. It's part of my lifestyle. So if there's no bread and butter, that's no good because at the bare minimum, I should be able to have toast. If you can't have toast, like what we're doing, then I must be able to have a hot drink, so my tea. I've got coffee. Coffee's actually quite expensive, but tea and coffee. If I actually have to have coffee in the morning, I like to have that. But I can go without really. So tea. So it's me bread, me tea, and me biscuits. If I don't have the opportunity to have biscuits with my tea, I will lose my shit. I'm not saying I have to have it all the time, but knowing it's not there at all and I can only have tea, that for me is that is like beyond poor. It's like that's not. I can run out of dinners and I can run out of all the other shit and you get a bit agitated, but I can't run out of tea and cookies, biscuits. But yeah, I think that's my downfall at the moment is them, my sodas, probably drink too many teas, and lack of exercise and sleep. Easy things to remedy if we choose to. This is the whole point, though, isn't it? It's all about motivating ourselves. So there's an awareness. I've already acknowledged my awareness. I've already said the things I need to do. I think listening to it probably doesn't sound too hard. You know, how hard is it? Maybe a few less teas, cut down on your biscuits. You know, already managing the sodas, but maybe one day someone would say remove them entirely. I don't want to remove them entirely. Cut down on your takeaways, which I've already been doing. Find a healthier meal. Yeah, I know I need to do that. That's something to look into. Not very good with things like that. It's something I'm going to have to push myself outside my comfort zone to learn and understand nutrition. And then more balance throughout the day so I don't feel so heavy in one direction and you feel like you're being more productive. That's important, isn't it? You know, because days just like envelop upon each other because literally it's just, I hate that feeling of Groundhog Day. You wake up, today's the same as yesterday. And we know tomorrow's going to be the same as today. And it's like depressing as shit when that happens, isn't it? Because it's like, what is the point of waking up? And I get like that sometimes. You know, you might see a video I do and think, oh, that's a good one. Like, that's really good. But at home, I'm probably, you know, I'm not sitting there like adoring myself for what I do. I don't sit there and go, oh, look at create that video. I don't think about it after I've done it. You know, I might watch it a couple of times. Sometimes I like to enjoy watching the videos, but not all the time. Like I said, I've still got to manage my time and my days, you know. And so, like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in a freaking twilight zone, and it's like Groundhog Day. My days fall into each other, and yesterday's similar today. Tomorrow's going to be a repetition of today. So, like, what are we even doing? What's life for? And it gets depressing, doesn't it? But I innately know anything can happen at any moment. Life can transform. We can have new experiences. But of course, we have to put ourselves in positions where that can happen, and be open to receiving really and interacting. But yeah, there's so many like I said at the very beginning, there's so many variances and variables to sort of our lifestyle and our happiness and well-being. It's not all mental; it can be physical, but at the same time, you know, we do need to take care of our mind. Otherwise, you're never going to win. You know, because we send ourselves in circles. Anyway, hopefully it's been some way of helping people. But I mean, I feel a little bit better now. But like I said, I'm going to be delirious in a minute. As soon as I press stop here and I turn it all off and I get rid of this green screen behind me and I just go, right, I need to rest now. I'm going to be laying there feeling hungry because I can't keep myself awake all the time. You know, I want to eat now. But if I go and eat, it's another half an hour, isn't it? I don't have half an hour. I need a rest. So this is, and I've done it to myself. It's my own fault. So that's my plan now. I'm going to go and rest, hopefully get a decent amount of sleep. Then Well, run a bath, have a nice bath, and feel fresh, and then get some food. On this occasion, I may have to do a takeaway. I can't really afford it really, but I need to eat, and I'm in no state really to keep cooking because I'm getting fed up cooking. I don't like cooking for myself. I haven't got that much food in. I don't know what I got. It'd be a nightmare. It's going to wind me up. So I think because I'm so tired, this is what I'm saying though. There's times I think it works. Um, to put it in perspective, as we go further into this, I recently had like a test on a forklift recently for a job, and they've given me a start date, so that's good. And that's 4 on, 4 off, so it's long shifts though, 12-hour shifts. So what I've decided, like, what I'll likely do, I'm not saying definitely I do, but I'm pragmatic. What I don't want to do is come home and pretty much just eat, bed, and then get up again in the morning, work, eat, bed, work. That's just depressing. Although you do get 4 days off after those. So it's 4 days of grind, which I don't mind. You can put up with it. And then 4 days of rest. Like you chill out, do what the hell you want. I like that. But then it's like, you don't have to ruin the 4 days where you've worked. If we can manage time better, it's going to be a short window, really. Maybe 3 hours before you're really going to go, before you're going to have to call it a night. That's not long. 3 hours from the moment you get in and then you bed. That's literally all you got, realistically. Unless you fall, but again, unless you're going to go sleep deprived, there's no good. So 3 hours because it's 12-hour shifts. But it goes, you've got 4 days off, so it doesn't matter that much. But I thought about it, and I thought if I just get a takeaway on the days I'm working, then you're not losing time all the time. Just and then you could maybe just watch a movie or watch some sport or something. But at least you've achieved something that evening. You managed to get your food, and you managed to rest and chill out and do something that's enjoyable, and then it won't feel so heavy going in and out. That's the plan anyway. That's what my plan is. So I just thought I'd share that really. And then on the off days, you just literally got yourself time to prepare, get some fresh food in and things. Um, yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan. Whether it works out that way is another thing.